Yo, what up? We back with CT's RPT, Real Prison Talk with Wes. And today I really want to touch on an issue that's kind of not been sitting right with me for the past few days. I think about maybe a week ago, I had put up a video and it was addressing a certain individual that was creative enough to get under my skin, you know? And he had sent me a message in my inbox, and he was talking about my kids, and he was talking about a bunch of things that wasn't true. He obviously doesn't know me, and I allowed it to get me out of character, you know? And since I put that video up, I've been a little disturbed by it because I allowed him to turn me back into, not even turn me back into, because I didn't do nothing to the man, but to kind of gravitate me back to the old me. And I say the old me because I'm constantly working on myself. I'm not perfect. I'm far from perfect. And I'm constantly working on myself. And it's always so easy to revert back to what we used to doing and how I was raised and how I'm used to handling, even if that's not the right way to handle, you know? So I don't want to keep jumping over, going through the same hurdles and making the same mistakes, you know, because I don't did all of that already. I don't did all the streets, all the streets. I don't did everything everything that you could possibly do in the streets that dudes glorify. I did it. I don't have shootouts in the streets. I don't did all that already. And at the end of the day, none of that is worth what actually could really come behind that. Especially when I was lucky enough to be in a place where I got to see the other side. I got to see the dudes that went down the same roads that I went down the same blocks that I went down, but they just wasn't as lucky as I was, and they got caught. And especially out here in Connecticut, they not playing with us. You see the dudes that be calling, you see the titles of my show, so-and-so and how he got his 50 years. My other little man explains how he got his 30 years. My other little man calls and talks about his 27 years. And I remember sitting in the cell one day, and I'm in there on a drug beef. Like, I've been a drug dealer. I sold drugs and guns the larger portion of my life. So my second bid out here, I done did more time in jail than I did in the streets out here. And I remember sitting in McDougal Correctional Facility, which is a level 4 correctional facility. I was sitting in there in my cell one day, and I had just got some disturbing news about something that had happened to my daughter that kind of had me bugging because I never felt so helpless in my life. And I'm like, I'm stuck in this cage. I can't do nothing about it. And then I'm looking around. It was kind of like my epiphany though, because I start looking around and I start seeing these dudes that was close friends of mine, that I live with, eat with, work out with, play cards with, play chess with, I'm spend the majority of my time with, 40 years, 50 years, 99 years. And that's when it dawned on me, like, and the sad part is it had to take something horrible to happen to my child for me to open my eyes up and say, this could be my reality if I keep going down the road I'm going down. Because even though I was in there for selling drugs and guns, I was no stranger to nothing that none of these other dudes had done. Nothing that I was a stranger to. Like I said, it's just they luck had ran out earlier than mine. So I really had to come to grips with myself and ask myself, is this really what I want? Is this really what I want for myself? Is this really what I want for my family? Is this really what I want for my kids? And if not, then there's some changes within me that need to be made. And that's why every year for New Year's, dudes make New Year's resolutions. Some people might say, I'm gonna eat healthy. Some people say, I'm gonna work out more. A lot of dudes make resolutions that they don't even live up to. Every year I told myself, I'm gonna pick something about myself. One thing, because change doesn't happen overnight. So every year I said, I'm gonna pick something about myself that I can work on, that I can change, that will better me. And this year, December 31st, before the ball drop, I told myself that I am no longer going to glorify that part of me that doesn't add to the positive progression that my kids need, that I need to survive out here in the real world, because it ain't nothing about going to jail. It ain't nothing cool about going to jail and being a man in there and holding it down. You got crackheads that could do it. A crackhead could go to jail, eat all his meals and do his push-ups, get all big, and throw his weight around and be the man in there. While your kids is out here starving and needing their father. And that's not what I want, I don't did the streets. I don't did the prisons. And it didn't impress me. I still felt like I deserved more, my kids deserved more. So that was my New Year's resolution. And I feel like when homie got under my skin, he kind of knocked me back a couple steps on my resolution, because even though I said I wasn't going to glorify that side of me, I was still feeding that side of me. So that's not what I want, Not saying I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect, So I'm not saying that I got this thing all figured out and if you violate me, I won't bust you upside your head. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm trying not to bust you upside your head. And if you can help me, that would be great. Help me help you. That would be wonderful, because I'm trying to be a better person, I'm trying to live like what we would call in the gang life, gang culture, a civilian, if that's even possible. But I'm trying, Can't fault the brother for trying. So I'm gonna that dude that I'm talking about, he knows who he is. And I wish the best for you, homie. I hope nothing happens to you. And if it does, definitely hope it's not because you said anything negative about me. So if you haven't by now, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. My challenge is still open. If you have a loved one in prison that you want to get a message to for the month of February, get the message to me. I'll see to it that he gets that message. You can also attach 5 pictures to that message. No cost. Just leave me a message here, how to contact you, or you can hit me in my DM on Instagram at wes.smith.129. And until next time, peace.